Hello guys, and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be making my predictions for game week 37 of the 25-26 Premier League season. We're down to the final two, the penultimate game week, but as always, before we begin, let's see how I did last week. I got no scorelines by on, but I did get two outcomes correct, so that is 2 points, taking my season total up to 222. And this is how the Premier League table looks after 36 game weeks. And without further ado, let's predict this week's coming matches. And we're going to start with tomorrow night's match. It is Manchester City against Crystal Palace. It is a catch-up match. And well, both these sides are looking interesting actually. Man City with the 3-0 win in the end over someone over the weekend, and Crystal Palace are doing Palace things. I think, seeing as they are in the Conference League final, they are more focused on winning that competition against SC Freiburg coming up, but I think Palace will be more focused on that. Man City need to win this match if they are to keep any pressure on Arsenal at the top of the table. I think Man City might win and keep a clean sheet. I go Man City to win 2-0 on this one. I think Man City need the 3 points more, so I'm going for a 2-0 win for the Blue Side of Manchester. And then we move over to the weekend's matches. It's Friday night's match, 8 PM kickoff. It's Aston Villa against Liverpool in, well, not really a big battle. Aston Villa are 5th in the table, Liverpool are 4th. They've both made and qualified for Champions League football now, and I know I said this about the Man United-Liverpool game a week or two ago, but I think that seeing as both these sides have qualified and neither tend to be prolific recently, I think I'm going to sit on the fence. I'll sit on the fence with a 1-1 draw. If it was at Anfield, I would be backing Liverpool a bit more to get the 3 points, but seeing as it's at Villa Park and Villa themselves are focused on the Europa League final, I said about Palace, it's Villa facing Freiburg in the Europa League final. Palace has the Spanish side, but Villa will be focused on that, and I just think, that's the way they'll, qualify for Champions League, but I think, it's just going to be a point apiece with a 1-1 draw. And then we jump straight to Sunday for the early kickoff, 12:30. It is Manchester United against Nottingham Forest in, this match kind of doesn't have a lot riding on it. You might have looked at this game a month ago and thought this could have big implications in the Champions League and the relegation race, but not anymore. Man United have officially secured Champions League football for next season. Forest have officially survived, with West Ham losing to Arsenal over the weekend. It is another pretty meh match. I think Man United at Old Trafford, I do like United, but Forest tend to be good at the minute as well. They are scoring a lot of goals. Although, mind you, they drew 1-1 with Newcastle over the weekend. There has been, over the last couple of game weeks, a lot of draws. I think this might be another one, I'll go down the middle again with another 1-1 draw. I think a point won't hamper either side again, and that's what I'm going to go for. A goal and a point apiece, 1-1. Next up, we've got Brentford against Crystal Palace in a 3 PM kickoff, is it? 3 PM kickoff on Sunday. This is the second time Palace being predicted in this video, and given I know Palace can't take their foot off the pedal just yet, although they are officially up, they're safe. Again, I think Oliver Glasner's putting all the eggs in the Europa Conference League final basket. They can't get complacent because they may well drop all the way down to 17th, but I think Brentford might win this. At the G-Tech, I like Brentford a bit more. They're one of those sides that are actually still in the hunt for European football of some description next season. I'll back the Bees. I'll back Brentford to win 2-1. I just think, yeah, as I say, Palace don't have a lot to play for in the Premier League, and I think they will lose again. I'll back the Bees to win 2-1. Huge 3 points in the European football race. And next up, you've got Leeds United against Brighton. And, well, again, these Leeds have officially stayed up, so they don't have a lot to play for, an awful lot. Brighton are still, they're currently, 7th in the league table, and they're very much in the fight for even Champions League football, because of, if Villa win the Europa League, then 6th place gets Champions League, and the thing is, it's at Ellen Road, and I like Leeds at home a bit more. I didn't predict them to get anything last night against Spurs. They got the draw. I think they might, at Ellen Road, get a draw again here. Brighton have been impressive this season, don't get me wrong, but they are capable of dropping points. I think this might be another draw. That's a bit boring, but I'll go for another 1-1 draw. I'll sit on the fence. I think at Ellen Road, Leeds can get something here, and I don't want to back against the Seagulls either. So a point apiece, a 1-1 draw. Next up, we've got Wolves against Fulham, and well, this is a big match. Wolves are winless. In fact, they haven't picked up a point in at least the last 5 matches. I think Fulham, they're not in great form either. I think they've picked up 4 points in the last 5 matches, 1 win and a draw. I look at this game, and it is at Molineux. I think this is a game Wolves could potentially win, because Fulham, they had let's see, who was it? It was, well, Anderson. They'll be missing Anderson for this match, but I don't know if that will hamper them. I just look at this and I think, I know how terrible Wolves have been all season, but I think they could snatch something here. Maybe an Rocadare goal, or, one of the Jowls. It could literally be anybody for Wolves, but I think they might actually snatch it here. I don't often back Wolves this season, but I think they might get something here. I'll back Wolves to win 1-0. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I think Wolves might just snatch the 3 points from somewhere. I'm going to back Wolves for the 3 points, 1-0 to Wolverhampton. And next up, we've got Everton against Sunderland in, well, a battle of two very, at the minute, draw-happy sides. I think both these sides drew over the weekend. Everton drawing 2-2 with Palace, and Sunderland drawing 0-0 with Man United at the Stadium of Light. This game is at the Hill Dickinson, and, well, David Moyes has made that place very tricky to go to and get a result this season, and Everton are still hovering in and around 10th in the table. They're still in and around those European spots. Sunderland, I believe, are 12th. They are around mid-table. I think it's got to be a draw. Both these sides like draws. I think there'll be a goal apiece. I'll go for a 1-1 draw in this one as well. Sorry, I'm just influenced by all the draws there's been recently. I think this could be another one, another point apiece with another 1-1 draw. And then we move on to the evening kickoff, 5:30 on Sunday. It is Newcastle United against West Ham United. These two sides have been, if you look back at a stretch of the last 10 games or so, in pretty different form. West Ham have been in very good form. Newcastle have tailed off, but they have got 4 points in the last 2 games, a win and a draw. And it is at St James's Park, but West Ham have made it tricky for teams. I mean, they got screwed over by that VAR decision, but they held Arsenal 83 minutes until Arsenal went on to win 1-0. But I think they are very cagey at the minute. Both these sides don't tend to score many goals. I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw on this one. I just think this might be a very scrappy, not-to-lose match. And I just think Newcastle and West Ham may well shake hands with a 0-0 draw on this one. A point apiece, which wouldn't actually be a great result for West Ham in the relegation battle, but 0-0. Next up we go on to Monday night, 8 PM kickoff. It's Arsenal against Burnley in a battle of, it has big implications at one end of the table. Arsenal still fighting for their lives in the title race, still top of the table by, don't know if it's 6 points still. Burnley have already been long relegated now, and I feel like it might be a long couple of games. They do play Wolves on the final day, so that could be an interesting match. Interesting to see who comes out up top there, if anyone. But Arsenal, I have predicted Man City tomorrow night to cut the gap to 3 points, I believe, at the top of the table. Arsenal need to bounce back, and I just don't see Burnley doing anything here. Sorry to any Burnley fans out there, but I think Arsenal will win. It's just by a matter of how many goals. I don't know. Part of my head's like they could steamroll them, and then part of me is like Burnley keep stuff cagey. I think I will go for Arsenal to win, though. I'll go Arsenal to win 2-0. I don't see Burnley scoring a goal. I just think the power of Arsenal is just too much. And they've got the Champions League final against PSG coming up, which they'll be wanting to prepare for, but they can't put their foot off the gas yet. I think Arsenal will come out victorious, though, 2-0 to the Gunners. And then we move on to Tuesday night's match, 7:30 kickoff. Rather, it's Bournemouth against Manchester City. And one thing I will say is this will be Man City's third match in the space of 6 days. They've got Palace tomorrow night, then they've got Chelsea at Wembley in the FA Cup final on Saturday, and then they move to and travel back to Bournemouth. I wonder if all this travelling will be tiring for the players. I know not all the same players are going to be playing, but Bournemouth on their day can show up and get results, and they've been very impressive. They're 6th in the table for a reason. They are very much in this Champions League title hunt. The Champions League football qualification hunt. Man City are still in this title race, but I have got Arsenal winning on Monday, and I just think maybe all this travelling might hamper Man City in this game. Isn't the vitality? I'll go for goals, but I'll go for a Desmond. I'll go for a 2-2 draw on this one. I think Bournemouth have more than enough quality to get out of here with a point. 2-2 and a Desmond. And then finally we have got, it's an 8:15 PM kickoff on Tuesday night. It is the London derby. I think it's North London derby. It's Chelsea against Tottenham Hotspur. And this one has huge implications. Chelsea with, they're currently 9th in the table. They are you know, they're currently out of any form of European football qualification. Spurs are 17th, they are still fighting for survival. It's tricky, this one, because I could see this game ending in a draw. But I think at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea might just get this result over the line here. Of course, they do play Man City in the FA Cup final on Sunday. I will predict that in a separate video. So stay tuned for that. But I do think that's... it could be a draw. But I think Chelsea will want to get the better of their London rivals. Now I'm going to regret this, but I'm going to back Chelsea. Callum McFarlane's done an alright job. He's got draws and stuff over the line recently. They drew 1-1 with Liverpool over the weekend. Not an amazing job, but I think Chelsea might just get it over the line. I think it'll be KG, but I'll back Chelsea to edge it 1-0. I think maybe it might be a penalty that decides it. But I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory for the Blues here. 1-0 Chelsea. And there you have it, guys. This week's coming 11 Premier League matches. I'd love to know your predictions, as always, in the comments down below. And yeah, I'll be back next week. Be back out in the US next week. But I will be back next week to predict the final round of fixtures in the Premier League this season. And also review how I did this week. And I'll see you all in the next one.